What every veteran needs to know about TDIU and their Social Security disability claim. Hey, I'm Nancy Cavey. I am both a Social Security disability attorney and a VA accredited attorney. I get this question a lot from my veteran clients. So let's talk about this. First, you need to understand that an award of TDIU doesn't mean that you're entitled to your Social Security disability benefits. And the reason is that the Veterans Administration and Social Security disability use different criteria to determine your eligibility for benefits. The other thing that you need to understand is that the Social Security Administration will consider the TDIU award in determining your entitlement to benefits, but it's not binding. It's just one of those pieces of information that the Social Security Administration or the judge will consider, because once again, there's a difference in the nature of the criteria for each one of these benefit programs. Now, the Social Security Administration uses a 5-step sequential evaluation, and they use this at every stage of the claim. The first question they ask is, have you been out of work for a year, or do you have a medical condition that would keep you out of work for a year or result in your death within a year? The second question they ask goes to the severity of your medical condition. And the third question they'll ask is whether or not your medical condition or conditions meet or equal what's called a medical listing. They used a big book called the Listing of Impairments, and they do not look or determine whether or not you have any type of an impairment rating, because that's not important to them. Now, at step 4, they ask whether or not you can go back to the lightest and simplest demanding job you held in the 5 years before you became disabled. And at step 5, they have a cockamamie test, and that is, can you do other work in the mythical, hypothetical, not real world national economy in view of your age, your education, and the skills that you've learned in view of your restrictions and limitations. So that's the 5-step sequential evaluation test. But let's talk about the test for TDIU. Now, obviously, the TDIU requires a service connection that will hinder sustainable gainful employment. And all non-service connected disabilities are not considered, unlike Social Security. And then you have to have a benefit payment that mirrors a 100% disability payment. So what's the practical reality of all this? Social Security is not bound by a 100% rating and is not bound by the TDIU rating because, as I said, Social Security does not use impairment ratings. They use the listing of the impairments known as the Blue Book. Now, what is obviously important in both situations is the restrictions and limitations that you have that will result in employability issues. Your employment history is important, and the difficulties you've had maintaining employment are crucial. Now, don't forget that TDIU is only based on service-connected disabilities, and any disability that's personal in nature isn't considered. That's not the way it works in Social Security. So you might be entitled to TDIU because of a service-connected back injury, but you have a cardiac condition. The VA is not going to consider the cardiac condition in determining your entitlement to TDIU, but Social Security is going to consider both the service-connected back and the cardiac condition. If you're unable to work as a result of your medical conditions, be they service-connected or not service-connected, please give us a call at 727-894-3188. We'd be honored to help you with your veterans claim and with any Social Security disability claim. We handle both, and we look forward to maximizing your benefits. 727-894-3188.